How you guys doing? And welcome to the Magnified Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Obed Magni, your executive coach and leadership speaker. And I'm here to talk to you guys today about interviewing. Are you actively interviewing? I know that for a lot of us, the experience can be a little nerve-wracking when we're talking about job interviews, but I'm going to take you guys on a journey of discovery and success. And we're going to make sure that those daunting feelings that you guys have, we're going to turn them into something a little bit more dazzling. So whether you're a fresh graduate, coming out of college, or if you're somebody who's a professional, we're going to get you guys ready to handle these interviews as they come up. So with that being said, let's dive in. So today we're focusing on first impressions. We all heard the expression, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression, right? Well, I cannot tell you how many interviews I've been on, how many interview panels I've sat on, I should say, where the interviewee comes into the room and they're wearing like a t-shirt, sometimes a cut off t-shirt or a ripped t-shirt, jeans. I've seen dirty, y'all, I've seen it all. And the thought that I have is, who let you walk out the house looking like this, thinking you're going to come in here for an interview and you're going to be okay or successful? Trust me when I tell you guys, you never, ever get that second chance. So whenever you guys are going to a job interview, it is always better to overdress than to underdress. Okay. I would rather you wear a suit and tie, suited and booted, than you showing up, just a regular polo shirt. Okay. So just keep that in mind, that, dressing professional is paramount. All right. So the second thing is punctuality. You got to show up on time, y'all. Okay. 10 to 15 minutes is usually about the sweet spot. Make sure when you're showing up for a job interview, you're showing up at least 15 minutes early. Okay. There's nothing wrong if you show up 30 minutes, 45 minutes, early, but just make sure if that is the case, hang out in your car or maybe go out and get some coffee, get the jitters out. If you have some things that you want to practice, go ahead and practice them, while you're there. But make sure you're showing up 15 minutes early at least. Okay. Better to be, early 30, 45. Showing up an hour is much better than showing up 5 minutes late. If I could not stress that enough. All right. So make sure you guys keep that in mind. The third thing that we're going to talk about today is you got to know your company. You got to know the organization you're applying to. Again, on these panels, I can't tell you how painful it is when I'm sitting there and I'm interviewing someone. I'm like, okay, do you know who the CEO of this organization is? And then I get to look like, no, I have no idea. Okay. Do you know how many people work here? No, I don't know. Do you know how many different departments in this organizations there are? Like, can you name maybe three or four? Um, I think there's not a good look, y'all. Okay. It doesn't take much. 2 minutes on a Google search to find out who the CEO is, how many people work at that organization, or at least how long they've been around. Those are some basic things you have to know. Okay. And in today's world, especially now with the federal layoffs, in addition to other people, being laid off and all the changes going on in this country, there's a lot of competition out there. So, with that knowledge and skill set that you have, you're going to be going up against a lot of people who know their stuff. So make sure that when you go into these interviews, do as much homework as possible as you can on the organization that you want to go and work for. Okay. So this is just the first part of a three-part series on Are You Actively Interviewing? I am your host, Dr. Obed Magni, your executive coach and leadership speaker. This is the Magnified Podcast, and I will see you guys on the next one.